in front of the so-called Death Gate, through which millions of Jews and other prisoners were led to their deaths. Around 50 survivors of the Nazi death camp at Auschwitz gathered Monday alongside world leaders to mark the 80th anniversary of its liberation.
We were victims in a moral vacuum. But today, however, we have an obligation not only to remember, which is very, very important, but also to warn and to teach that hatred only begets more hatred.
On January 27, 1945, Red Army troops liberated Auschwitz, the largest of the 6 Nazi extermination camps. What they found continues to haunt humanity. Industrial human slaughter, the apparatus of a regime determined to wipe out the entire Jewish race. A genocide conducted over 4.5 years, planned and executed with meticulous detail. The Nazis' so-called final solution. An estimated 1.1 million people were killed at Auschwitz, 1 million of them Jews, but also Poles, Roma, Soviet prisoners of war and other nationalities. Victims were stripped and forced into packed gas chambers. Others were shot, beaten to death, or died from disease, starvation and exposure. Bodies were burned or buried in mass graves.
As soon as I got off the wagon, I was immediately hit by the smell, the one I knew from Treblinka, the smell of burning bodies.
Germany now embraces an official culture of remembrance, a duty to take responsibility for the Holocaust.
We keep alive the memory of the breach of civilization committed by Germans in the Holocaust and convey it to every generation in our country again and again. Our responsibility never ends.
But the anniversary comes amid growing fears over the rise of the far right in Germany and beyond, concerns voiced by many Auschwitz survivors.
Let us be very serious, and let us take seriously what the enemies of democracy preach. They generally seek to implement these slogans they promote.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu did not attend the Auschwitz commemorations. Netanyahu is subject to an International Criminal Court arrest warrant for suspected war crimes committed during Israel's war on Hamas, which he denies. Israel was instead represented by Education Minister Yoav Kish. Relatives of the dozens of Israeli hostages still held by Hamas in Gaza also travelled to Poland, while survivors of the October 7, 2023 attack joined Holocaust survivors at memorial events in Israel. Henry Ridgwell, VOA News.